Yo, what is good, YouTube? It is your boy Make America Lit, back with another NBA 2K24 video. And in today's video, I have another episode of Rare Builds for you guys. As you can see on your screen, today's episode, we are going to be creating a two-way inside-out scorer. So with that being said, let's jump right into the build. Now, obviously, you can make this build at many positions. I chose to make this build at the shooting guard position because that's just what I chose. You can go PG, small forward, power forward, whatever. It's up to you. This is just what I chose. For me, height, I went 6'8" because I wanted to go a little bit on the taller side because I want this build to pretty much play all three positions, really the four. You can even slide this build over into the power forward position if you're playing rec with the full squad and you need somebody to run the four or whatever. At 6'8", you can play the 1 through the 4 with this build. So, do keep that in mind if you're like, oh, well, we need a 4 or a 3 or something like that. I like to make my builds a little bit on the taller side if I'm going shooting guard because I know that when I play solo rec, it's really a coin flipper whether you actually get to play shooting guard or if you're going to get pushed to small forward. And if you make a small forward, it's a coin flipper whether you're going to get to play small forward or power forward. So I went 6'8" just because now I can go anyway. I could go shooting guard, I could go small forward, and I could go power forward if I need to. 210 on the weight and then 7'1" on the wingspan. And then for the attributes, this is what I went with. 55 close shot, 75 driving layup with a 94 driving dunk. And usually I don't really mess with driving dunk too much on my builds, but with this build, I wanted this build to kind of, be able to do it all. I've been playing around with builds with lower three balls, and now that I'm able to shoot, consistently with a lower three ball, now I've kind of been branching off into builds with more drive and dunk, or builds with drive and dunk, builds with, mid-range builds with a little bit more defense. I've been able to play around more now that I can, play around with builds with like an 83 ball, a build with a 76, 79 three ball. It kind of opens your build up for you to do more things. So that's why I went with the 94 drive and dunk. And then, of course, we went with the 82 vertical. So this build will have elite contact dunks, I believe off 2 if I'm not mistaken. It'll have pro contact dunks and it'll have elite contact dunks as well as elite alley-oops and all of that. You'll be able to get Jordan's dunk package and all of those good things if you are a starter 3. So do keep that in mind. Obviously the 40 standing dunk for those standing dunk animations that we unlock at 40. Then for the shooting, I went with the 72 midi and an 83 3 ball and an 80 free throw. Now the 83 3 ball is going to definitely be enough to space the floor. Now obviously you're not going to be pulling from limitless with this build, but you'll be able to space the floor. You'll be able to sit hash. You'll be able to sit corner. You'll be able to hit from all, aspects of the 3 ball with this build. You see the badges that we got, mostly silver badges. You have a couple gold badges here and there, comeback kid and gold claymore, which is going to help you with spotting up. Bronze agent 3. Bronze Deadeye, which is, more than enough. These silver badges are more than enough for you to hit consistently, especially if you have your hot spots and your lethal spots, you'll be able to, splash consistently. I'm shooting 70% with a 79 3 ball, so I'm definitely going to be able to splash with an 83 3 ball, if you know your jump shot and all of that stuff. Moving on to the playmaking, we do have a 75 pass accuracy. I try to reach that 77 pass accuracy just for that threshold for like needle threader. But I needed to put points elsewhere, so I went with the 75, which isn't as bad. You're going to be playing off ball anyway, so your passing isn't going to be that important, but you want to be around that 74 77 range just for the badges and stuff. I think at 76 you get relay passer silver, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you get 76, you get silver relay passer, and then 77 you get bronze needle threader, which I would have liked to reach, but with what we have here, being 6'8", we getting the drive and dunk, that's going to take a lot away from the build. Now you can lower your drive and dunk to like an 89 and just get like the pro contact dunks, and then you can do a little bit more with the build. But this is just what I went with, you know what I'm saying? If I'm going to go 89, I feel like you might as well go 94, you know what I'm saying? You might as well, and then I guess some people will say if you go 94, then shit, you might as well go 96. But the difference between 94 and 96, along with the vertical that you're needed for like the lead contact dunks, it's a lot more. You're going to be giving up a lot more. So I would rather just go with the 94 and the 82 and just get those elite contacts. That's just what I did. Went with the 85 ball handle and then the 75 speed with ball, just enough to get silver blow by, hyperdrive, and speed booster, along with silver unpluckable. Keep in mind that you aren't going to be the primary ball handler with this build, so you don't really need gold unpluckable. Especially if you're going to be at the small forward position, you're definitely not going to need gold unpluckable. It's nice to have though, but you're not going to need that at the small forward position. or even at the 2 guard position, because locks aren't really going to primarily be guarding you. Maybe in solo rec, but if you're playing squad rec, the lock is most likely going to switch onto, the primary ball handler, which is going to be the PG. Moving on to defense, we have a 60 interior defense, which is just enough to get stops down there, especially if you're on a shooting guard, you're on a small forward, you're not on a big man with like super high standing dunk and stuff. You'll be able to get stops with hand up defense and jumping, especially being 6'8" with a 7'1" wingspan. You will be able to get stops down there. So that's why I put, 60 interior defense. I didn't feel like I need to put anything more on that. But if you do want to bolster your defense some, if you're bringing down that drive and dunk to an 89, I would recommend putting that into your pass accuracy and your interior defense. That's just me. Or even into your block, because you are going to be 6'8", so you will have access to anchor. That's just what I would do. And then, of course, our perimeter defense, we have an 86 perimeter defense with a 90 steal. Now, I mean, if you don't care about having gold workhorse, you could drop that perimeter defense to an 85 and then put those points elsewhere. This is just what I did because I want to be able to, reach and get loose balls, when the ball gets poked and stuff like that. I want to be able to pick the ball up. I'm constantly tipping the ball, but I never end up getting the ball because I have a low level of workhorse. I'm usually running bronze or silver workhorse. So that's why I went with an 86, just so that I have a high level of workhorse. I noticed that on my lock build, on my 6'7" lock, with I think I got Hall of Fame workhorse or gold workhorse, I'm able to constantly get loose balls. I'm able to constantly get steals and stuff because I'm actually able to pick the ball up. I'm not fumbling the ball and the offensive player doesn't get the ball before me. So workhorse is definitely important if you want to get those steals, especially those tip ones that go out of bounds. A lot of times I'm able to tip it and snatch it out the air instead of tipping it and it just going out of bounds and workhorse not triggering. So that's the reason why I went with the 86, and then obviously the 90 steal for that gold interceptor, and right stick ripper will be able to, now I know people like, oh, well, you could have you could have upped your wingspan or whatever for 91 steal. Yeah, glove is important, but it's not important when you have right stick ripper. And I only reach with the right stick. I do not reach with square. The only time I reach with square is if I'm playing the passing lanes or I'm playing an alley-oop and I'm trying to snatch an alley-oop out the sky. If I'm snatching an alley-oop out the sky or I'm trying to play a passing lane for a steal, that is the only time I press square to get a steal. Otherwise, on ball steals, I only reach with the right stick. So me not having glove doesn't really do much for me because I still have gold right stick ripper. So do keep that in mind when you're making these builds. You can save those points here and there and cut those corners. Now, obviously, glove is going to help you get more on-ball steals and more on-ball rips. So do keep in mind that glove and right stick ripper will stack. I just cut a corner and just went with gold right stick ripper just because that's all you really need, as far as real locks and on-ball locks. They'll tell you, if you reach with the right stick and you know when to reach and how to time your reaches, that's all you really need, And then moving on, we have a little 54 defensive rebound, which isn't much, but it's something. It'll help us chase down those rebounds here and there. It's nothing crazy. And then finally, the physicals, we went with the 82 speed, 74 acceleration. As you can see, most of our badges are going to be silver, blow by, fast feed, speed booster, spot finder, triple strike, slippery off ball. If you put your acceleration up, you can get gold triple strike. As you can see right there, with the 75 acceleration, we could have had gold triple strike, but I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. So I just went with a, 74 acceleration because triple strike isn't going to matter too much because we're going to mostly be playing off ball anyway. Same thing with the 82 speed. We went with the 84 strength, which is going to help us get, bulldozers, going to help us get clamps, fearless finisher, physical handles on Hall of Fame, immovable enforcer, brick wall. A lot of badges for defense as well as offense that's going to play, a part with us having that 84 strength. I did have it at 85, maxed it out, but I dropped it down because you don't lose anything going to 84. You don't gain anything by going to 85. So that's why I went 84, and then 82 obviously for those elite contact dunks. You see we're going to have gold posterizer and gold aerial wizard, so we'll be able to make those backdoor cuts. We'll be able to catch those lobs. And then finally a 99 stamina to wrap the build up. Silver handles for days, silver 94 feet, and of course that gold workhorse that I was talking about earlier when we were talking about the perimeter defense. And then of course you see our shades of, we see Doug Christie, who's really good defensively. We see DeJounte Murray, and we see Devin Vassell. So there you have it. This is my two-way inside-out score build for NBA 2K24. It's been your boy Make America Lit. Please be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more NBA 2K24 content. And of course, more rare builds like this. I'm out, y'all. Peace.